So most of my setup is pretty much the same, but I'm just going to do another one of these videos to highlight a few changes. Yep, that's the homebrew lead lag setup, except for my homemade end plates are off of it because I'm planning on building some new ones to fit some other parts that I have. Side panels and something on the bottom. Not sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but I'm sure I'll think of something. Sure you know this one. FA T5 preheat mini shop light. Homemade. That strip on the desk is still the same. The desk is a little bit messier than before. I really need to get on that. I know. So don't mention it in the comments, because I know about it already. Continuing. Yep, that wraparound out of the closet, but the strip fixture that was in there, wait for this tube to start up. That fixture is a different one. It used to belong to Jeremiah. I was with him when he got this one back at Urban Ore. Long time ago now. Yet I can remember it pretty clearly. It's high power factor. The strip that I had in here before was one of my own that I wired with a capacitor to emulate this same strip fixture setup. I think these screws are for the ballast and the capacitors on these ones. It's held on by battery nuts. It's made by Sunbeam Visionaire. Also, Lifeline Etch, Sylvania from Canada, made in April of 1985, the month and year, same month and year as my birth. Anyways, on the wall. That's another one of Jeremiah's fixtures, but let's see if I can flip the switch and run back fast enough to catch both of these. Another one of Jeremiah's fixtures, and I loaded it with a cool green tube. It directs the light downward a bit more, doesn't have any uplight though. And are we strobing here? We gotta read. Yep. That's that's probably the first fixture I built or modified, I should say. It came from a strip fixture that was purchased at a hardware store. Another cool green tube in there because cool green was one of Jeremiah's favorite colors of fluorescent tubes. It's one of mine too, but I didn't have any cool green tubes, although this is honestly not the way I wanted to get them. But I've got them, so I'm lighting this wall with it. Jeremiah's memorial flyer, lit by his own cool green tube, and it's right underneath this drawing that he did, which I had mentioned. I think he drew this to demonstrate the severed electrode on one of his own fluorescent tubes, and you can sort of tell it's a GE because he has rounded over the edges and put that little notch there. Yep, I want to get this tattooed on me. Maybe put some wings and a halo over it, and then mark it in loving memory of J-Frog or something like that. Still trying to work that one out. But yeah. And of course, this troffer. Still the same one. It's T12 again. I did mean to do a video of it as a T12 when I converted it back, but I never did. Well, I filmed one, I just wasn't happy with it and didn't upload it. But it's all daylight. Jeremiah had a couple of 34-watt daylight tubes in his collection. I like using 34 watts on my rapid starts. They're only good for rapid start fixtures unless you have a single low power factor preheat ballast. That's the only time you can run 34-watt tubes on preheat. Because if you try to run 34 watt tubes on a 2-lamp preheat ballast, it'll cook the ballasts, but they're made for rapid start ballasts, unless they're like older rapid starts only rated for 40 watt tubes, and then again that'll cook the ballast as well, and oftentimes you'll see tar stains in fixtures as a result of this. But yeah, the daylight works better for webcam lighting. When I go on webcam, when I'm filming my blogs, this is on. It's also on when I'm gaming. I think I mentioned it before. Hall of Fame diffuser. The fixture itself is made by Daybright. Maybe you can see, yep, it's supposed to be an air handling fixture, but the parts for that are off. And of course, this is still here too. Can't believe I forgot to flip that switch earlier, but here we go. Not much has changed except for the T12 part is now a little bit brighter because I used some of Jeremiah's red etched light white Wattmizer tubes in there. And my high school had those same tubes in some of the fixtures, and so it was a way to make it even more like it was back in my old school days. And again, power cut for the ballast for the T8 half, T12 half is just the Thermomatic X. And of course, this is my most recent find. I'm going to do a video on this one pretty soon. So stay tuned for that and enjoy.